Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Rachel and welcome to today's video. Today is kind of going to be like a general weekly reading vlog. I'm just making my way through my February TBR as the month comes to a close, but I have two books that I really want to prioritize this week that are 5-star predictions. They're very different from one another genre-wise, but I think it'll be really fun to document my reading with both of them. So just a little bit of a backstory on this vlog, because I'm sure you've already seen by the title, I'm going to be reading Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson and some hockey romance, but a little bit of a story time. When I mapped out my videos that I wanted to do this month, I knew I wanted to vlog my reading experience with Mistborn because I was very excited for it, and I feel like a lot of you were really looking forward to seeing what I thought of this book, so I definitely wanted to document that reading process. I also wanted to do a hockey romance vlog this month, and I had quite a few hockey romances on my TBR. There were a few others that I found, and I was like, maybe I'll make a video just dedicated to that, but I knew kind of once I mapped everything out for February, I wasn't going to be able to vlog both, and I really wanted to read all of these books in February, and just not enough time, not enough days in the week, not enough hours in the day. There was just no way that I was going to be able to do both of these vlogs towards the end of February. So I went on my Instagram and I posted a poll. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, please make sure to do so. It is at Ravenhaired Reader, the same as my YouTube channel name, and I like to ask you guys for input a lot on content and just what you're reading and all of that, so definitely make sure to follow me on there. But I posted a poll and said, hi Angel Besties, need your help. Should I do a Mistborn vlog for the last week of February, or should I do a hockey romance vlog? And it was literally at like 50-50 for the longest time. A lot of people were voting for both, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do here? But then finally, towards the very end of the poll, Mistborn ended up winning out just by a little bit though. I forget exactly what the percentage difference was, but it was literally something like Mistborn was voted by 52% of you, and then the hockey romance was voted by 48% of you. So that was pretty close. And at first I was like, okay, well then I'll just do a Mistborn vlog, whatever. But then I was like, you know what? Why choose? So today's vlog is going to be a Mistborn and hockey romance reading vlog, which is just a classic combination in my opinion. So these are two books that I have very, very high 5-star expectations for. So this is Mile High by Liz Tomford. It is a hockey romance that I have just seen everyone giving 5 stars to. I genuinely don't think I have seen a even mildly negative review about this book. I've heard it's fantastic. I've heard it's emotional. I've heard that it's just a really, really well done romance, and I'm just dying to read it. And then Mistborn. You know her, you love her. I have very high hopes for this book. I really hope it gives me the same feeling that Warbreaker gave me. I hope I like it more than Warbreaker. You know, I just want to absolutely fall in love with the world that Brandon Sanderson has created. So very excited to read this one as well. So I'm going to be reading these two books in this vlog, and then we'll see. Maybe I will just read these two. Maybe I'll throw something else in there. I'm just very excited for this week and to make my way through these books, and I really, really hope that I give them both 5 stars. That is the goal. So today is Monday night, and I am just going to spend the evening kind of getting ready for the week. I'm going to clean up a little bit, do some laundry, and I need to read. And I need to take a bubble bath, because of course I do. I'm definitely going to start with Mistborn. It is the longest, so I definitely want to get started on this. I got the audiobook from my library and I am all set. So I'm going to start this evening. I don't know how far I'll get, but I am going to try to, you know, make some headway. I think this book, it's a little bit over 500 pages. So I'm going to start this book tonight, and I'm excited. That's it. I don't really know what else to say. I will talk to you guys probably tomorrow with an update for Mistborn and let you know my first impressions. Hi besties, so it's time for my first check-in for none other than Mistborn, and I'm not as far in it as I wish I was at this point. Today is Thursday and my week has just been so crazy, so I'm on page, let me see, I'm on page 130, so still very much in the beginning, I feel like. But first impressions, very much liking this, really, really enjoying the story and the writing style thus far, and I'm excited to see what else happens. I really want to get more into the meat of the story, I will say. Definitely still feel like things are being set up and things are just in the beginning, but what I've read so far, I'm really, really liking it, and I'm super intrigued to continue. So very quickly, if you do not know what this book is about, you must have been living under the same rock that I was, but I will tell you, this book is basically like the tagline of this book is, what would life look like if there was a battle of good versus evil and evil ended up winning? What would happen if the Dark Lord had prevailed? You know, what would the world look like? And that is how this book starts out. Things are bleak, you guys. The Lord Ruler has won. he is extremely tyrannical and terrible, and life is just really awful. People are just trying to get by and survive. But we have a ragtag team of these sort of misfits who want to start a rebellion and want to overthrow the Lord Ruler and get the good guys back on top, basically. And so just that, the setup of this book, I think has been fantastic. I love that idea that challenges, you know, the more typical like, oh, good always wins. It is interesting to explore the idea of, well, what if good didn't win? What would we do then? So through this book, we are following a few characters. Kelsier is kind of our main guy, and then also Vin, who is a young girl. I want to say maybe she's like 16, I'm not entirely sure, but they have a special kind of magic and power that is going to aid them in this, you know, very huge undertaking of taking down the powers that be. And as I said, they kind of recruit all of these different people who, you know, work in the underworld, and they're double agents, and all these different characters come together and put together this plan. So one of the things that really stands out to me the most that I'm really loving is the world building. I think is done so well. It's intricate, but it's really digestible at the same time. And I feel like Brandon Sanderson is doing such a good job of unveiling the world building and the magic systems along with the character development and plot development. So I'm liking that. I think it's a really nice marriage. I think that those things are working really well together. I don't feel overwhelmed by anything, which is really enjoyable. He just does such a good balance too of making very fun, likable characters. Kelsier is really funny and sarcastic and mysterious and definitely intrigues me a lot. And then Vin, I just want to root for her so bad. I really hope that like she has a good story arc. I don't know. She's been through a lot, and so she's definitely a character that is interesting to watch, and I'm excited to see where things go for her. So very early on, I learned that this book has a heist plot. I love heists. I am so excited for that. Six of Crows is one of my favorite books of all time, and there's a lot to love about Six of Crows, but one of those things is that the central plot revolves around a heist, and I love a heist. I'm a heist stan. So I am so looking forward to seeing how that all comes together in this book. I don't know if it'll happen in this book. Maybe it'll happen later on in the trilogy, but it's really fun to see the political scheming and just kind of everyone coming together with all these different plans, all this different expertise, and how they are going to achieve this very big feat. You know, it's a really huge thing and very dangerous. The stakes are super high, but I just love this, like, we've got nothing to lose. Let's do this. Let's try our hardest to see if we can take down the big bad guy. So I am all about it. So those are my first impressions. Really like the writing and the characters. The setup of the book has been great so far. Only one thing that has stood out to me is the pacing has been a little bit touch and go in the beginning. I wasn't entirely sure, kind of like I was having a hard time finding a rhythm with the first maybe like 100 pages of the book, but now I'm a little bit past it, and I do feel like this book is sort of gaining momentum and I am fully immersed, so that's great. This book also definitely feels very different from Warbreaker, which I enjoy. I just feel like it has a different tone. I don't know if that makes sense, but I do enjoy that we're getting a very fresh story, even though like I think the Cosmere is like his, you know, literary universe, so these places might exist within one another. I'm not really sure, I don't know the connections, but it does just feel different from Warbreaker, which is really cool. So that is that on that. I'm really liking this. I'm gonna keep reading. I really want to get pretty far into this book. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface still. We've established people, I kind of understand what's going on, but now I want to get into the nitty-gritty. So tonight I am hopefully going to read a really big chunk of this. That is the plan, and then I'll definitely be spending the weekend getting through this and then starting my next book as well. This is a good time. I'm really excited. I'm really happy that I picked this up, and I'm just so curious and scared to see what is going to happen with these characters. So I will talk to you all once I am a bit farther into this and I have more to say. Hello, friends. How are you? Happy Friday. Reading updates. I, as you saw by the B-roll, hopefully I haven't edited it yet, but as you hopefully saw by the B-roll, I read quite a bit of Mistborn last night. I stayed up really late. I've been trying to wake up early lately, but yesterday that did not happen because this is amazing and I'm loving it so much. So I couldn't go to sleep. I had to keep reading. I just had to. I made it quite a bit farther, speaking is hard. I made it quite a bit farther into this book than when we last spoke. I am now on page 364, so I have less than 200 pages, and I'm just loving this. I don't even really know what to say. I'm just loving this book. Like that's it. That's my check-in. This is amazing. It's extremely well written. It pulls you in. I feel these characters' emotions. I feel these characters in these moments of peril and action and indecision. Everything is just so well done. Vin is my angel, my baby. I swear to God, she better have a happy ending by the end of this trilogy. Like, she deserves everything in the world, and if anything bad happens to her, I am going to commit a crime. I don't know. But I love her. Her character development has been excellent. I might have touched on that yesterday, but I'm even further, and like I didn't even know what character development was when I was talking yesterday, because I've just seen so much growth from her in a short amount of time, but not in a way that feels rushed. You know what I mean? I just think Brandon Sanderson does character development really well. And Kelsier is just this really fascinating character. There's this certain archetype that I have found that I like. The character who has nothing to lose, who is set on a vengeance, and everyone else around them is kind of like, hey, bestie, maybe we should like think things through. Maybe we should not be so rash. And he's like, no, I have bloodlust. I am set on a mission and I don't care what I have to do to get there. I love that. I love the unhinged, like, crew leader who's got nothing to lose. It's amazing. And Kelsier, I feel like, really fits that well. And I love the two of them so much. And I love the friendship that they have. I think it's really great. And just the ways that they are able to relate to each other and, you know, just be there for each other. I think it's cool. So I really love the both of them. This book is quite a masterpiece thus far, I will say. So as I said, it is Friday, TGIF, and I want to finish this book today. That's the goal. As I said, less than 200 pages. I can definitely do that. I can definitely get 200 pages of this book read today. So I'm gonna finish Mistborn at some point today. I say at some point because I'm so excited. So today is the 24th and the new season of Drive to Survive on Netflix came out, which, if you don't know, Drive to Survive is like a documentary style series for F1. So Netflix has a series, Drive to Survive, and they basically just like document the previous season and then, you know, make it into a show on Netflix. And it's really cool because you get behind the scenes of all the races and they interview the drivers and the team principals and engineers and just everyone. So you just get more behind the scenes, little bits and pieces from the F1 season. So it's really amazing. And as somebody who loves F1, it is my favorite sport. It is the only sport I care about. I'm so excited. So Sean and I kind of want to binge the whole series tonight. I think there's like 8 episodes. We might be able to do it. Depending on how much we binge will depend on how quickly I get this book done. I do think I'm gonna stay up late again because I really wanna finish this today. So whenever I can do that, I'm going to, even if that means I have to stay up. But yeah, I'm so excited. Drive to Survive is gonna be amazing. And then the 2023 season of F1 starts next week. I am so excited. Do I have any F1 besties watching this video? Let me know if you love F1, who is your favorite driver, or if you have multiple, if you can't choose. I cannot choose. My favorites, Lewis is like #1. He's the greatest of all time in my opinion. Charles is like my #1, but like Lewis is the #1. So it goes Lewis, Charles, Carlos, Pierre, Daniel if he was racing, but unfortunately he doesn't have a seat this season. Hopefully he comes back. But yeah, those are like my faves. Those are the ones I always root for. And I love them. So let me know who your favorite drivers. If any singular person watching this likes F1, would love to chat. So anyway, that is my plan. Reading, watching Drive to Survive. I do want to go to the gym later at some point, so it's probably going to be a pretty busy day, but just overall check in with this. This is fantastic. And like, that's all I really have to say. I'm really just like super engrossed in the story right now, and I'm excited but also scared to see how this one ends. Since it's a trilogy, I imagine we're gonna get some type of painful, shocking, crazy, all of the above cliffhanger at the end of this. Maybe we'll see how this book ends and how I feel once I have finished it. But I will probably talk to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday and I need to film. I'm gonna film my March TBR and I'm hoping to finish this tonight, and then I'll film tomorrow morning, and then I will start Mile High after I film my TBR. It's gonna be a great weekend. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow with my final thoughts on Mistborn. So I just finished Mistborn and oh my god, I want to cry. Oh my god, it's not even like... I don't know, like, wow. Oh my god, why am I crying? Why am I crying? This was really good. I don't even know, guys. Okay. So many things. This was amazing. Wow. Okay, I need to form sentences. Real, like, you know, coherent sentences, Rachel. Come on, let's go. This was really good, and I love Vin. Oh my god, I can't even speak. This was one of, like, the best written fantasies I've ever read. Definitely. The last quarter of this book was insanity. I was not expecting some of the things that happened. Oh my god. I can't believe he did that. And Vin. I love Vin so much. Her character development was beautiful. The ending of this book, like the very last page of the epilogue, that was cute as hell. Oh god. Wow. Yeah. So I can't even form words because I'm still just trying to process what I just read, but I'm gonna give it 5 stars. I will say, like, for a while, I was gonna give this book 4.5 stars, which, like, not that big of a difference between a 4.5 and a 5 star, but I was kind of comparing it to Warbreaker a lot while I was reading it, not storyline wise, but just like comparing the only other Brandon Sanderson book that I've read. I do think that, like, overall, like, my enjoyment of reading Warbreaker was a little bit higher. Warbreaker had a little bit more fun to it, I guess you could say. I was really enjoying this, but for different reasons, I think. I was really enjoying a lot more of the technical aspects of this book, and then, you know, I don't know, this just felt different from Warbreaker, but I think after finishing it, that doesn't make it any less of a 5 star for me. I think that the impact that Warbreaker had on me came at me very quickly. Very early on in that book, I was like, oh, this is a 5 star. This, I feel like, was a little bit more of a slow burn, but now at the end of it, I'm just like, no, this was brilliant, some might say. I really loved this, you guys. Oh my god. This was so amazing. Pacing issues aside in the beginning, it wasn't bad. It was just kind of, I had trouble getting my footing, I would say, in the beginning. But by the end of this, wow. Vin forever. I love her. I'm so curious what's gonna happen in the next 2 books. The way that this ended, it's like, what are we gonna do here? So that is Mistborn. This was a 5-star prediction, and I was correct. That's very exciting. I'm so happy that I read this. This was really beautiful. What the hell? What the hell? Okay, so that means I am going to be moving on to my next book, Mile High by Liz Tomford. And this is a hockey romance. Nothing quite like following an epic adult fantasy with a hockey romance, you know? It's all about balance, and I'm really excited for this. I don't know if it's like enemies to lovers, but like maybe a little bit of like annoyance to love or hate to love. Our hockey guy is very arrogant, kind of a diva, and his love interest is a flight attendant, and she doesn't put up with any of his crap and, you know, really kind of gives it back to him. And I think that the two of them, you know, kind of butt heads, but in a really fun way, and then end up falling in love. So I think that that sounds really fantastic, super fun. I'm so excited to pick this book up, because truly this is just one of those books that I have not seen anything lower than a 5-star rating for this book. And like, I've just seen a lot of my friends talk about this book and just absolutely gush over it, and not just like, oh, this is a 5-star, it was really great, but just like, this is gonna be one of their best books of the year, and they loved it so much. So I have extremely high hopes, and I'm very excited to just get into this book. I'm gonna need maybe like a couple of hours to let Mistborn marinate a little bit. I do, before I end this clip, have a little bit of book mail that I wanted to open with you guys. This is from Pango Books, and I have been interested in collecting the original covers of ACOTAR in the paperbacks, but I've always really liked the UK original paperbacks. I always thought they were really pretty. I follow a few people on Instagram who have like the original paperback UK editions, and I've always really liked those spines. And so I don't like actively look for them, but like if I find them, sometimes I'll be like, you know, maybe I'll pick those up, but a lot of times they just end up being too expensive because they're out of print now, so everyone wants them. But I did find 2 books that were not too badly priced. So I decided to pick them up because I really do want to collect what was printed in those original covers at some point. Okay, so, oh my God, this person wrapped these in this cute little pouch. These are older and used, so I'm expecting a little bit of wear and tear, but I'm still excited nonetheless. Oh my God. These are like really high quality. They look amazing. Okay, so we have A Court of Thorns and Roses. So these are the original UK editions, and I just love the spines. I think they're so cool. And this is really bright. It's really pretty. This is so stunning. Oh my God. And then I have A Court of Mist and Fury, which does have a little more wear and tear on it, but not like anything bad. Just the pages have yellowed a little bit, but I still think that this looks pretty dang good. And the spine looks fantastic. Oh my God. It's like a nice level of used, you know? It looks well loved, which I don't mind at all. So cute, right? Oh my God. And just the spines, I'm just obsessed. I don't know. I love collecting books, okay? Reading books and collecting books are 2 different hobbies I am both a fan of. So these are getting added to the collection, and I'm really happy that I have these because I think that these are really, really beautiful. So I just need to get A Court of Wings and Ruin, and I think that that is all that was printed in this type of edition. I'll look for ACOWAR one day when it's not like $150. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go maybe like lay on the floor and think about Mistborn. I don't know. I'm gonna pick this up at some point tonight after my mind is not like mush, you know? Okay, I'm just gonna end the clip because this is way longer than it needs to be because I just keep pausing and like staring off into the distance, not knowing what to do with my life. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Hi friends, it is the next day. Today is Sunday, and as you guys saw last night, I started Mile High. I will talk about that in a second. And I got up today, I filmed my March TBR, which I'm really excited for you all to see that. That will be out after this video. I have a lot of exciting March reading plans, so it's gonna be a good one. And then I just spent some time watching BookTube, and now I am here to film a reading check-in. But before I get into that, did you guys know that February doesn't have 30 days? Because like, I knew that, like, I understand that concept, but I'm kind of like freaking out here because I need to finish this book before March 1st. I need to post this video before March 1st, and today is March 26th. And when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, okay, so I have like, you know, the rest of the week, I have like 4 more days-ish to read this and get the video up and blah, blah, blah. But like, no, bestie, there's only 2 more days in the month, and I have to get this vlog up before I get like my March TBR up and my February wrap up because this and Mistborn are going to be a part of my February wrap up. So I just, this is how my brain works. I hope this is making sense, but I'm just now realizing I have way less time to read this book than I thought I did. So that means I probably won't be able to check in as much about this book just because today is Sunday. It's 2:20 right now. So I'm just letting you guys know that I might not be checking in for Mile High as much as I did for Mistborn, but that is genuinely because I thought I had like several more days until the month was over. So apologies, but what I lack in amount of check-ins, I will not lack in quality of check-ins. Obviously, this is a super high quality check-in already, as everyone can see. As I said, I started Mile High last night. I'm barely into it. I was so tired last night when I started this, you guys, so I'm only on page 56, and I think this book is a little less than 500 pages. So it is quite a long book, but first impressions have been very, very good so far. So this book follows Xander and Stevie. Xander is, you know, as I said earlier describing this book, Xander is a hockey player. He has a bad boy reputation. He's actually not like a bad guy though. He just kind of puts on a front for the media. And during his NHL season, him and his team take a private jet to all the games, and they end up getting assigned this flight attendant crew that will be working for them on every single flight they take. And Stevie is one of those flight attendants. And Stevie and Xander butt heads immediately. Xander gets a lot of entertainment out of this. Stevie kind of throws it right back at him. They're a really interesting pair. Very well matched, I feel like. Like, she does not take crap from him. She gives it back, and it's really entertaining to see them interact. And there's definitely an attraction between them, but there are a lot of things that would get in the way of like anything going further. Number one, Stevie has been told by her boss, absolutely no fraternizing with the hockey players. You have to keep it professional. You'll be fired immediately if you are seen like flirting or just anything with them. And Xander is like, yeah, I would never date Stevie, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So that is kind of the setup of the book so far. It is dual POV, which I absolutely love. And Liz Tomford is a fantastic romance author thus far. How well I know these characters thus far on page 56 of a almost 500-page book is extremely impressive. I feel like I understand Xander clearly as a person, his mentality, everything, and Stevie as well. She has really painted an extremely clear picture of who these people are, what their insecurities are, what their struggles are, what their, you know, kind of lives have been like so far throughout their 20s and in their childhood. And like, I just feel like I know them super well. And I think that's very impressive that very early on in this book, I already have a really good grasp on who they are. So I am loving that. I'm really liking both of these characters. I think they're complex. I think that they're interesting. Stevie is a character that I definitely feel that I can relate to. She is somebody who deals with a lot of insecurities. I do want to say like a mild trigger warning for this book, dealing with body image, a little bit of body dysmorphia for sure. So definitely just check up trigger warnings if you are interested in this book. And the dynamic between Stevie and Xander, it has been very fun. They're very feisty together. And I think that the two of them are going to be a very interesting pair. I'm excited to see like, how are we going to break down the walls? How are they going to get together for the first time? What's going to happen? Because there are like very legitimate stakes and reasons for the two of them not to be together. So I think it's going to be really good. We have a little bit of like a forbidden romance element going on, which is always a grand old time. Those are my first impressions of this book. I really, really love the characters. I really love Liz Tomford's writing. I feel like she is developing a deep and well thought out, well constructed romance already. And I'm only like 56 pages in. So I'm very excited by this book. I don't know, it's refreshing. It just feels very refreshing. Trying out a new romance author, it's always really fun, and it's always kind of exciting to see who's going to be a potential favorite, who is going to be somebody that I'm going to want to pick up books from in the future. And already I can tell that Liz Tomford, she is that girl. So that is my first check-in. I'm going to spend the day reading this book. I need to get pretty far into this. I do also want to go to the gym because I was just watching Christina's vlog, and she always goes to the gym in her vlogs, and she just motivates me so much with her like amazing bubbly personality, and she has all the energy in the world at 4 a.m. and she was going to the gym, and I was like, you know what? Now I want to go to the gym. So shout out Christina. So I'm probably going to go to the gym, but then I'm going to come back and read this book. And I'm really, really excited. Even though I do need to finish this a little bit quicker than I was anticipating, I don't think that's going to be a problem because I've just loved this book thus far, and I'm not going to rush through it. I'm really going to take the day and just read as much of this as I can, read a bit tomorrow, and then I'll probably do like my final check-in outro tomorrow. We're kind of speeding this vlog along at the end here, but I'm really excited to talk about this book more with you all once I have finished it. So that is the update. I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna read this book, and I will talk to you guys later. Hi friends, so we have made it to the end of this reading vlog, and I finished Mile High this morning, and oh my goodness, I loved this book. It was fantastic. I had so much fun reading this. I spent most of the whole day yesterday reading it. I went to the cafe at Barnes & Noble and read for a little bit, and then I mostly just read on my Kindle last night as I was going to sleep. So this book was truly such a joy to read. I really have a good feeling about Liz Tomford as like a future auto-buy author for me because I just love her writing style, and the way that she wrote this romance was really fantastic. I had such a good time. I love Stevie and Evan. I was calling him Xanders, but that's, you know, they call him by his last name. His name is Evan Xanders, but I love Stevie and Evan so much. They are a beautiful pair, and I just absolutely loved their dynamic. As I said yesterday, Liz Tomford is able to get the characterization of these two across so well and quickly, but in a way that doesn't feel rushed, and it feels very real. One of my absolute favorite things about this book was the dynamic between these two characters. It felt real. In a romance, sure, sometimes you are gonna have a little bit of, I mean, it's fiction, so maybe things will be a little bit over the top. Maybe things will be a little hard to believe, stretch your imagination. I genuinely feel like this is one of the more real romances that I have ever read. Things didn't feel so over the top, so cartoonish, anything like that, which I don't always mind in a romance novel for sure, but it's like refreshing to read about a romance where these feel like real people. Their interactions to me did not feel forced. It was just a very realistic and I think natural progression. And also what I really enjoyed about this romance was, I mean, like, the spice was fantastic, the banter was amazing, you know, there was tension, all of that was great, but there was a focus on developing these two as friends as well, which I thought was really beautifully done. I like seeing these two not only, you know, start to form a bond because, you know, there's an attraction and there's this and that, but also because, like, these two get along. These two have things in common. These two enjoy spending time with one another, separate from the, like, physical attraction that they feel to one another. And I think that was really cool. I like that. I like seeing that. Once again, very real, very realistic romance. And I just had a lot of fun with it. It read very cozy. I'm really excited to continue on with the series with the right move. And this was wonderful. This was such a good time. I did give this book 4 stars. The only reason that it's not a 5-star for me, because it definitely had a 5-star potential. This book is very long, which, okay, fine, but some of the length of this book I feel like is attributed to some repetitive kind of things going on in the book, and I feel like we could have cut a few things out and I don't think the story would suffer for it. I think if this was a little bit shorter, this would be like a damn near perfect romance for me, but I still absolutely loved this book. 10 out of 10 recommend. Such an amazing, amazing first book in a series, and I'm really looking forward to picking up whatever Liz Tomford puts out in the future. All right, my beauties, that is it. That is my Mistborn and hockey romance reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it to this point in the video, go ahead and leave the hockey stick emoji. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram and Goodreads. Both are linked down below, and I really appreciate that you watched this video. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day. I love you so, so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.